Hey everybody, we are back with another video, and I'm going to go over how to make a custom rope can strap in this one. So really easy to do, not much to it. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in the video. Hope you all enjoy. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start off with a 1.5 inch strip of leather. I'm not sure how long to make it yet. We'll figure that out in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and strip a piece of leather out, and we'll start there. So I go ahead, stripped it out. I'm just going to throw this over my shoulder. I'm not sure, I've never made one before, so this is going to be kind of new for me for measurements. So I'm just going to throw it over my shoulder real quick and gotta figure out like where it would hang at on my side. So it ended up being 44.5. The measurement I'm going to go with just for this one, if the person was taller or shorter, you could lengthen up for difference. But for now, I'm going to go with 44.5 inches. You can go 44 if you want, just for that. So next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to come in 3 inches, make a mark, and I'm going to do the same on both sides. Trust me, I'm trying to hold the camera here. So that being said, because these are going to flip over just like this. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to kind of draw a fancy end here. I'll show you in a second, but go ahead, do that now. So at this point, since we are going to be using these trigger snaps on each side, I only have a 5/8 inch one or two. So for this, what you want to do now, find your center. So for an 1.5 inch belt, it will be a 3/4 inch. Draw that across 3/4, and then I come, I think a little under 5/8 here. So that way, whenever you go to install it, it will sit nice in there and it won't be having to shove it through that trigger snap. All I did here, just kind of make something kind of tapered off to that. You can do something a little fancy up here if you want. You don't have to, you can just do regular tapered blunt end or whatever. So I'm going to take this and draw the same exact thing on the opposite side. Went ahead, got that drawn up on both sides. All these extra lines, you can erase if you want to. We'll get to that later. But, so now, we're going to go ahead and cut this pattern out on both sides. I erase the lines, and this is what we are left with on both sides. I'm going to just do a basic basket weave on this. So I'm going to take my calipers, I'm going to go ahead and etch a border in this, and then we're going to do a quick basket weave on this. Nothing crazy, but something a little nice. Went ahead, you can see that little border in there. This little line I use for the calipers, and that's going to be my guideline for my basket weave stamp. So for these ends, I don't want to bring them all the way back. So what I did, I just took this little thing here and just use this to make the ends on them. Just like so. So now I'm going to go ahead and throw some painter's tape on the back. That's going to keep this project from stretching when we go to tool it. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead, let's basket weave this now. As you can see, I use a little camouflage tool in there as well on the border, but we have it all basket weaved up. So now we're going to go over to the dye table. I'm going to dye this a light brown, and we are going to antique it. ahead and let that dye dry out a little bit now. Get it all dyed up. And I forgot to mention, I'm going to stitch groove it beforehand. Unless you're going to buck stitch it, then it doesn't matter. But usually as long as you get it before you antique, sometimes I forget. So go ahead, stitch groove it, and then we are going to antique this bad boy. So it's all stitch grooved, ready to be antiqued, pretty all dried out. So I was going to use paste antique. I'm using dark brown, putting it straight on the leather. I'm going to buff it out with some sheep wool after I'm done. So let's go ahead and do that. The antique is dried. We threw some leather sheen on there to seal it off, and this is what we were left with. All right, so now I'm going to use this chap leather as the backing. This is just 3/4 ounce chap leather. I have it laying around the shop, so if I had to use it up, you can just take out another piece of veg tan, dye it one color, and use it just as well. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a layer of contact cement on both sides of these. Let it get tacky. Put another layer on. As soon as it gets tacky, we will put these two together and get ready to sew them up. So we have it down on here. Took a hammer, just kind of pound it down, kind of help bond it together. So we're gonna let this glue dry a little bit more, and we're going to sew it in place. So it is all sewn up, all the way down through. We cut the extra off. I'm going to go through, these edges are a little rough, so I'm going to go through and use my Dremel tool. I'm going to Dremel all these edges down flat and get rid of all that extra glue, because that'll get in the way of the process of doing the edges. So I'm going to go ahead, Dremel these down, and we'll get to doing the edges. Went ahead and got it all edged up. So I'm going to use this cool stuff here I found out about not too long ago, Martin's Mix. I used to use beeswax and saddle soap, but now this is my go-to edge solution. So I'm going to go ahead and put a layer on there, use some denim, burnish it, dye it, and then burnish it again one more time with the same stuff. Went ahead and got them edges done. You can see how nice those edges look on both sides. So now we kind of got it marked out. Get some light here. I'm gonna punch a hole there, punch a hole in the top, and do the same on all four sides. You can kind of see here what we got going on. I am using these rivets right here. You don't have to use these. You can use Chicago screws. But after you punch those holes, throw your trigger snap in there, put your rivet down through, and we're going to set the rivets so that they look like this. So I'm going to go ahead, put them together. We're going to set these. All right, so now that they are set, we have a finished rope can strap. That is really nice. Got that chap leather on the inside. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Go ahead and give me a like, subscribe for future videos like this. And if you have any questions, throw them in the comments or any future video ideas. I appreciate it. So thank you all. Have a good night.